and Global.
Here we are.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Well, we're so glad that everybody is joining us. And I'm Sylvia Dana from Realty in Grand Rapids. And I have with me Laura and Rebecca. Introduce yourselves really quick, Laura.
Hey, I'm Laura Clark, and I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina.
And I'm Rebecca Yusan, and I'm in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
And we've got Traci Lewis with us. I'm so happy. We love Traci. Now, when I first joined eXp Realty, I was officially in eXp August 1st of 2017. And Scott and Traci were traveling around telling more people about eXp. And they agreed to come to Grand Rapids to help me do my first lunch and learn. And this is right before I met Rebecca. And Rebecca wasn't with me quite yet. She was right after that. And anyway, so Scott and Traci came. They really taught me how to do a lunch and learn, and helped me feel so connected to this company and the bigger vision of the company. And now she's here with us from Hollywood, Florida, I think. Are you in Florida right now?
I am. Can you see the view?
Oh my gosh.
Beautiful.
I know. I'm right here on the beautiful Atlantic Ocean. It's a spectacular place to be. Thank you, Glenn Sanford and eXp Realty.
So, Traci, tell us, just to get started, tell us just a little snippet of how you came in eXp and a little bit about your journey now and why should we be paying attention?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I've been in the industry now for 22 years, and I cut my teeth at Century 21, and it was a great company. I learned so much. And after a couple of years, I got a wild hair and opened up my own Century 21 franchise. And I found out why brokers are called broker, because I was always broker than all of my real estate agents were. The first 2.5 years, the first 2.5 to 3 years, I lost massive amounts of money, about $500,000. And the only way I was able to keep the company open is I worked around the clock, and I actively sold real estate as well. And then some things happened, and I was able to make some tweaks to my business model. And all of a sudden, my Century 21 office became very profitable. And I grew that to the 4th largest in the United States.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I had 5 offices. My overhead was $75,000 a month before I made a single penny. But, I was a success, right? I was making a lot of money, but I didn't have any time freedom at all. So it was all about the money freedom and not about the time freedom. And I looked around at the other women that owned real estate companies that had been doing it a lot longer than me. And I thought, you know what? I don't want to look like that. I don't want to feel like that. I didn't want to emulate the success that they had. That was not my definition of success. So the market was just rocking and rolling. It was late 2006. And I thought, you know what, this is the time. So I put out feelers and sold my real estate companies 6 weeks before the market crashed in 2007.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. By the grace of God. And at that point, I wrote several books. I'd already written one book, and I was on the professional speaking tour and was doing lots of radio and TV, and kind of thought that was the direction that I wanted my life to go. The challenge is that it's just not as glamorous as it looks on TV, and I could never make as much money at it as I was making in real estate. So after a couple of years, I finally settled back down and went back to actually selling real estate as well, and focused just on that. And at that point, I was recruited away to Keller Williams and joined them. And this was 2012, I believe, and was Recruiter of the Year globally for that company. And I joined them because I was really intrigued with that whole profit share model, right? But it was a little frustrating because I would say, well, how do you figure out how much you're going to make? And well, no one could answer that question because the brokers themselves don't know. They weren't being evasive. It's just, who knows how much money a company is going to spend in any month, and who knows how many deals are going to close, and you're getting paid off at the bottom. And it just wasn't a good business model. And so I never even saw enough to make my mortgage payment with Keller Williams. So I just had to get back on that damn hamster wheel. Get back on that hamster wheel, and get the listing, sell the listing, make the money, spend the money. Get the listing, sell the listing, make the money, spend the money. Repeat. And I was right back where I was in 1999. Now I was selling more expensive homes, but it was still that same that same business model. And I just kind of resigned myself to the fact that I was just going to be on that hamster wheel forever. And when I had my Century 21 office, I had the #1 Century 21 team in the nation for 8 years. I was a mega agent for KW. I was used to doing a lot of production. But how it always felt was the more buyer's agents I got, the more listings our team got, the more sales our team got, the bigger the hamster wheel got, and my paycheck never seemed to get any bigger at the end of the year. So I kept looking around for another model, and I knew that there had to be one out there, but I couldn't find it. And then lo and behold, eXp was brought into my life by an absolute, complete miracle in every sense of the word. And when I saw this model, my first thought was, well, it's too good to be true. And then my second thought was, well, it's such a new company. If it's so great, how come there's not more people involved? Because when I joined the company in November of 2015, there were less than 1,000 real estate agents in the whole company. I've been around for 7 years, and there were less than 1,000 agents. The stock was trading at 64 cents a share, right? And all of my friends were like, ha, 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 that little penny stock. And I thought, well, I don't have any stock in any other company I've ever been with. Give me the penny stock, I'm going to take it. So anyway, I went out on a limb and I joined eXp. And what I found is that almost everybody I talked to was just as tired of that hamster wheel as I was. And if I could show it to a successful entrepreneurial real estate agent that wasn't completely wiped out emotionally, that still had that spark in their soul a little bit, it was an inherent yes for them too. I love what our amazing founder, Glenn Sanford, says is that, that his vision for this company is that it is financially irresponsible to be with any other real estate company in the world other than eXp. And I think all of us ladies would agree that Glenn is 100% right about that. Don't y'all think so?
Yes.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What I love.
I've been with the company now for 3 years, 4 months, and 26 glorious days. I have a revenue share organization of over 2,500 real estate agents that I earn revenue share off of. How exciting is that?
Very exciting.
Not only become financially free in every sense of the word. I went from 1,400 square feet in San Antonio, Texas, to 5,300 square feet at Trump Hollywood in one of the most beautiful buildings in the entire world. And the only way that I was able to do that is through the magic of the eXp revenue share model. And it's not just the money freedom, it's the time freedom too. So it's a beautiful life, and it's all a result of this gorgeous company. That was a long answer to a very short question.
I love it.
That's a great answer.
I love it. Well, when we want everybody, and Laura reminded me to say this, and we're going to try to say this a couple of times, that, comment, write your comments, interact with us. Those of you that are watching, ask a question, make a comment. We'd love it. And yeah. Laura has a question for you next.
Okay.
Yeah. So Traci, it sounds like you travel all over the country, talking about eXp and meeting with, the founder, Glenn Sanford, and other, executives. Tell us a little bit about New York and kind of where you see eXp going globally.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited to answer that question. You're right, I have been very blessed and to really get to spend some time with the most amazing leaders in the whole wide world, including Glenn Sanford himself. Last week I was in the Big Apple. eXp is launching New York City in June, so hallelujah.
Woo!
So we are actively looking for rockstar real estate agents in the New York models in the New York area. So if you know any rock stars, then reach out to these ladies, give them their names. I will be there personally to meet with them April 15th through the 18th. More details on that as they become available. But it is very exciting because, there were a lot of people that said, New York is a radically different animal, especially in the real estate model, as we all know. Yeah. And there's no real estate, there's no city in the world like New York, and there's no real estate market in the world like New York's real estate market. So we were told, repeatedly, well, it'll be a long time before we get to New York, a long time. But what we found out is that there's such a deep hunger for the entrepreneurial model with eXp Realty. And because it's impossible, nobody in New York City can afford to go to an office every day. I mean, my gosh, commute times for a mile can be 30 minutes. Yeah. So our model, I've got my little 5-pound Yorkie poo here. He had surgery. So he's a little bit. Sorry, Shadow. Sorry. I know.
It's always good when it's Facebook Live, right?
Oh, no. A little Traci Shadowbox weekend. Today was his birthday too, so he's really mad at me for him having surgery yesterday, the day before his birthday.
Oh, the day before his birthday, Mom.
Anyway, sorry about that. Anyway, back to New York. So it's just an exciting thing. And to be able to be a part of the fastest growing real estate company in the United States and launching in the largest city in the United States, it's just a beautiful place to be a part of this incredible company. And you look at our business model, you know, where everywhere you're practicing real estate, you're going to pay the same cap, the same $16,000 cap. You compare that to most real estate companies where maybe if you're in Minot, North Dakota, your cap is $16,000. But you know, if you're in Manhattan, your cap may be $50,000 or $60,000, and a lot of companies don't have caps at all. So this is such a better business model for the people that are earning large amounts of dollars in their real estate business, especially because of the Icon program we have. I found myself explaining that a dozen times while I was in New York. And it was like the real estate agents couldn't wrap their head around the idea that our company would give people back their cap and the stock for hitting certain production numbers. And I said, you know, that's the real power of the cloud-based model. You were not paying $17,000 a month for a 600 square foot, you know, piece of real estate on the 6th floor of some New York building. Because we've gotten rid of the bricks and mortar, real estate agents, first and foremost, have more time freedom because they're not having to traipse into the office to do business. They have more money freedom because we're able to give them better commission splits, and we're able to give them revenue share instead of profit share or no share at all in the real estate company. So we just flipped the whole model on its head. So anyway, as information becomes available on New York City, we will make sure that we get that out to these ladies and everybody else, and just reach out to them and they'll give you all the details.
And what about globally, Traci? Like, where do you see us going next? So right now we're in US and Canada. What's coming down the pipeline?
Well, you know, that's a great question. And there's no official kind of announcement on that. There's been a lot of different talk about a lot of different countries. Germany's been thrown out there, Australia. I don't know how much of that is wishful thinking.
Right.
But, you know, I think about, you know, when I joined Century 21, they were already number one in the world. And when I joined Keller Williams, they were number one in North America. So there wasn't any opportunity for me to be on the ground floor of anything. I came to the party too late, right? Yep. Well, that's the power of eXp, is that we just launched in our 50th state last year. I mean, it took us 10 years to get into all 50 states. So maybe it takes us another 10 years to get into all the major countries. But for those of us that still intend to, you know, be out there, you know, alive and breathing and looking for new challenges, how exciting is it? The idea that, you know, maybe we can be part of the launch for, you know, France, or part of the launch
Costa
for
Rica.
Now you're talking. Exactly. So that's one of the biggest reasons that a lot of the people, the big movers and shakers in our industry, have flocked to our real estate company, is because it is about not just making more money in your real estate business, which I believe is the biggest reason to join eXp, because you're going to make more money in your traditional real estate sales. But above and beyond that, it's the opportunity to be a part of the ground floor of some really exciting times in our industry. So, yeah.
That is so exciting, Traci. I have goosebumps right now. So, as you mentioned earlier, you meet frequently with our leaders and Glenn Sanford, our founder. And it can be sometimes overwhelming because there's so much information and so many different things you can do to build your business.
Sure.
What do you think Glenn Sanford would say right now today is the most important thing that we as agents should be focusing on?
You know what? That is an absolutely brilliant question. You know, the truth of the matter is that we all need to focus on the profitability of our particular real estate businesses. It is not about selling more homes. It's about having more money for our family at the end of every single solitary month. So, you know, it was very interesting. We were talking about some great things, you know, in the masterminds that all of us eXp agents have, and we're driving, and, you know, I was there with him and his lovely girlfriend, Debbie. And one of the conversations came up about, you know, that they're really, the listing presentations out there, you know, many of us are buying listing presentations, we're piecing together listing presentations. You know, wouldn't it be great if eXp had a whole bunch of listing presentations that agents could pick and choose from? And, you know, because we don't have an equity position in the company, wouldn't that be really cool to have all these choices? And so He pulls out his phone, he pulls out his phone, and he puts a post on Workplace and says, I'm giving away $5,000 to the top listing presentation. Put your submissions here. I mean, 3 minutes later, he's reaching out to 17,000 real estate agents saying, give us your best ideas. We're going to share them with everybody. You can take this from this agent and this from this agent and this from this agent. You want a luxury listing presentation? Bam. You want somebody to talk to about distressed properties? Bam. I mean, like, $5,000 at Glenn Sanford's money.
What?
And that proves the agility and the brilliance of this man. I'm telling you, Glenn Sanford is without question the absolute smartest human being I have ever been around. And the level of conversations that he has with people, I got to listen in on a lot of calls because we drove from, Seattle to Vancouver. I mean, we had lots of time in the car, right? And he had a beautiful car and it was very nice, but it's a small car. So, it would be, I'm just hanging on every word, and the conversations that he has with Debbie and the conversations he has with other real estate agents and other people in the industry, it's such higher level. I mean, he's always on this wavelength of escalating people's energy, escalating people's vibration, showing people how to have higher level conversations, showing real estate agents how to transform their real estate business. It's not about get the listing, sell the listing, spend the money, get the listing, sell the listings. But it's about building a business that suits you and serves your lifestyle, gives you the time and money freedom that we all crave as real estate agents. And that's the real blessing of this company. And it goes on to every single real estate agent within the organization. If you're one of my Facebook friends, I posted something that Glenn Sanford recorded on Friday, and it was all about, allowing people to do their jobs, hiring the right people that are passionate about the same thing that we are all passionate about, and then allowing them the freedom to do the job in the way that they know is best to do the job. I compare that to every other company I've ever been involved in where, it was all about, accountability for your time and how many phone calls did you make today and let's practice scripts. That is not where Glenn's head is. Glenn's head is to make sure that people are always growing professionally, growing in their spiritual life, growing in their business life, and increasing the number of high energy, high vibrations, high success-minded conversations. That is at the helm of our real estate company. It's just the biggest blessing in my life to be a part of something this exciting and to be able to run with people that are so vastly ahead of any place that I've ever imagined being. But knowing that if I just continue to do the right things and read the right books and spend the time with the right people and be a part of the right conversations, that I will continue to grow and prosper too. So
awesome.
Traci, I hear the emotion in your voice, and I totally understand. Because we're just at Starbucks earlier today. We didn't even know we were going to get to do this, but we got to. And and I was presenting, and I mean, there was several times I thought I was going to bawl my eyes out, not just because of the synergy that we have, right, with everybody. And I was talking about the eXp awesome listing presentation group that Glenn started. Yeah. And it's so special. It is so special. It's so different. And you're not going to get that anywhere. And it just makes me feel so good and privileged. And so anyway, so just to hear the emotion in your voice, it's not just because we have an opportunity to make money. It's just the everything. It's just the everything. And, and then the reason I wanted to name this interview X Factor of eXp is because I saw Glenn Sanford on his new Facebook page, fan page that he had. He posted something that, about the 10X. He just decided to what he did with how agents are compensated. He decided to let's 10X it. How can we 10X the way agents get paid? And how can we 10X the way
I think she's gone out.
I think so too.
Sorry.
Oh, there we are.
There you are.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, that's all. I just wanted to say that. And then I was going to ask you, what are some the
we got some
It'll be a move over. Oh,
what was she going to ask, Rebecca?
I really don't know. It was off script. I love it. That's okay.
Right. If you had to say what the X factor was, you know, of eXp, what would it be? Like the one thing that anybody should take away from, you know, hearing this conversation?
You know, I think, Laura, that's an absolutely beautiful conversation. I think at the end of the day, it really is about the relationships. I mean, the level of collaboration that I've had with my eXp colleagues and the level of connection that I've had, simply because we all have a vested interest in each other's success and each other's wins. We all are there to help each other and serve each other. And when everybody comes from that place of collaboration, and if everybody has a vested financial interest in that collaboration, the whole business changes. I mean, it's the reason that we have seen so much power in our company, because we all really want each other to win. There's not that competitive jealousy like you have in your typical real estate company. We all want each other to grow and prosper and succeed. There's no secrets in our company. You know, there's 37 live classes this week in the eXp world. 37.
Crazy.
And most of those are being taught by people that are actively out there selling real estate right now. And the only reason that they're willing to share their secrets is because there's something in it for them. There's a financial interest in it for them. And when you have that kind of collaboration with 17,000 real estate agents, no wonder we're growing at such an exciting rate. And it's the absolute truth that we are going to continue to grow and prosper and build because we all really want each other to win. Now, you combine that with the very best technology in the industry and the best lead generation systems in the industry. I mean, I tell people all the time, there's lots of great reasons to join eXp, but the number one reason to join eXp is that most real estate agents are going to make more money in their real estate sales. And, you know, we had a great class right here in my condo yesterday. We had about 30, 40 real estate agents right here from the Fort Lauderdale, Miami area. And one of the things we talked about extensively is how eXp provides better tools and better systems for agents to be able to generate leads for free without having to make cold calls, and in a demographics in an area that you want to work. So if you don't want to work more than a couple of blocks from your house, we've got ways for you to be able to do that. If you want to really focus on building your business in the same school district that your kids go to school, or in a church that you're active in, or a charity that you're passionate about, eXp lets you build your real estate business so that it feeds your emotional soul as well. Yep. Everything is different with this company because of that reason. So I guess actually that's two reasons, not one, but I'm sorry.
That's okay. Well, Traci, we really appreciate your time. We know that you're living in paradise right now, so we don't want to keep you from that, but we want to be there too. And we are so excited that we actually have that option coming to us. Our dreams have been awakened again, and I'm excited again. I love being able to talk to people that are further along than I am so that I can learn and get in that mindset. So thank you so much for your time today.
Anyway, ladies, what a huge pleasure to be with y'all today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Traci. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.